Shannon, what would that become?
20x 30 yeah, whatever, plus 45.
Yeah. So when you're multiplying the x's, the exponents just get added together. There's an invisible 1 exponent on the 5x. Okay. Anya, do you know what kind of problem number 3 is?
Foil.
It is a FOIL problem. You can't just square the 3a and square the minus 5. That would be wrong. Because it's all of it times all of it. All of it times itself. So it's actually a FOIL problem. So Anya, what would the first be?
9a squared
Outside?
plus 25.
Plus 25 would be the last.
It would be negative minus 15.
Inside?
15 minus 15
Minus 15a, and then the last?
is 25.
And then after you're done multiplying, add the like terms. Notice, whoops, negative 15 minus 15 is negative 30. Notice when you add those together, the exponents do not change. That's only multiplying. Okay, number 5. Now where are we going to go? Okay, we'll go hope and then we'll swing around this way. There'll be one for everyone.
Is this a square minus a square?
Yeah, it is a square minus square. We haven't done a lot of these. Okay, so usually we do like 3-term factoring. There's also take stuff out. Oh, actually before we do 5, how would we do number 4?
I don't know. It's really hard.
You just
It's not exactly a FOIL, yeah.
would it be like you just distribute the x to all three and then you just distribute the
2.
what's the other one? Yeah, 2 to all three.
Yeah, so he
You just
said
go over.
it's kind of like double distributive. It's like FOIL, but you do x times all 3 of those and 2 times all 3 of those. And then you add the like terms together at the end. There should be 2 pairs of like terms. Okay, number 5, we're factoring. It's like lesson 2 before we got to the equations. Hope, how did that factor?
B and B. And then plus and minus 3.
Yeah, so I call this the square minus a square. This is a square because it's b squared. 9 is a square because it's 3 squared. So, oh my. Okay. Anyway, b squared turns into b times b. Negative 9 turns into negative 3 plus 3. That's how you do square minus square. Number 7. Isa. So this is 3-term factoring. So it usually looks like this. What are we going to put in the front, Isa?
7.
Okay, what goes into 7c squared? 7c times c. And in the back, you're asking what multiplies into 12. But you're not saying that adds up to 44 because there's numbers in the front. You have to FOIL it to check it. So Isa, what does multiply into 12?
2 and 6 and 1 and 12 and 3 and 4.
Okay, not only could those be the answers, but it also, if 2 and 6 could be an answer, but also 6 and 2 could be an answer. Or 1 and 12, 12 and 1, 3 or 4, or 4 and 3. So there's like 6 possibilities here.
2 and 6.
Isa thinks she already got it. So she said it was her first guess, 2 and 6. Okay, how do you check? Basically you FOIL it. You don't have to do the whole FOIL though. Really you just need the outside inside and see if that gives you 44C. So the outside right now is 42C and the inside is 2C. and that does add up to 44C. So it is correct. No, we're not doing 9. On number 8, what should we do first?
Take out.
Take stuff out. What goes into 36, 51, and 15? 3. Anything else we can take out besides the 3? A. So you start by putting a 3A on the front, and in parentheses you put what's left. That thing in parentheses should factor again though. So you're going to have 3A in front, and then that thing in parentheses will be like 3 times factoring, so it'll end up something like that. So take 3A out first. Okay, number 11. Olivia, do you remember how we did this one? If there's a negative in the square root, what's that tell me about the answer? It's going to have an I in it. So if you don't have a nice calculator, this is where you had to just plug in square root of 63 and then incorporate the I. Or you can plug in negative square root. That's just going to make it negative. Doing it by hand, it looks like this. It's just going to be 3 square root of 7. It's going to be negative 3 square root of 7. And where should the I go, Grant?
Which one?
I know, but Grant got these wrong. I don't know where he put the I. Where's the I go?
It goes behind the 3.
Yeah, it goes in front of square root.
I
know.
I just forgot what that one is.
I know your calculators like to put it back there. That's just because they don't have a spot to put an I in the right place. Like they can't show it. So anyways.
I might be picked on. It's not cool.
Wait, it's 13.
It's not hip and lit with the kids.
Yeah, we
Come on,
should
take
I hate when you.
It's not hip and lit.
Yeah.
Okay, Ava, what kind of problem is 13? Yeah. How can we tell it's not foil? Because there's a plus. So, which problem is foil? 16. So 13, if we're adding, what's the rule with addition? You can only add what? Like terms. So we can do 3 plus 1 is 4, and 9i plus negative 1i, or 9i minus i is positive 8i. So what's it called when you have a real number plus an imaginary number? Like, it's called complex.
Be honest, or I that.
It'll be on the test. No comment?
Oh.
Alright,
Oh.
Shelby, what kind of question is 15 going to be? Distributive. Kind of like number 1. But this time we got i's, so it's more fun. So what's that going to turn into? Plus 7i squared. Anytime you see an I squared, little bell should go off in your head. What's I squared turn into? Negative 1. I probably won't have a question like I to the 12th on the test. Maybe I'll make a bonus or something. But you do need to know I squared is negative 1. That is something you have to know.
Are you gonna leave this over?
No.
Do I need to know?
This is all you.
I swear.
This is what you have to know.
Oh.
Okay, so that's 7 times negative 1.
Negatives.
So remember how I said put the real number in front, so it's negative 7 plus 21i?
Okay. Berries.
So I think we're going to go to 23, 24, you could say today. That's about the halfway point. 17, solve by factoring. So what's different between this and number 5? It's an equation, which means you can actually figure out what x is. We spent most of the chapter solving quadratic equations with factoring and quadratic formula. All right. Well, you know how this is going to factor. What multiplies into 32,
8 and 4,
and how do you get them to add up to negative 4?
or negative 8 plus 4.
Negative 8, positive 4. They multiply into negative 32, and they add up to negative 4. And then, to solve, we got to say what x values would make these factors equal 0. And since it's an equation, you could check your answers. Number 19. Will everybody get one? Maybe not. I already picked on Grant one, so it's okay. Oh, Grant the victim.
I'm always the victim.
You're usually the. What's the opposite of victim?
A predator.
Oppressor, maybe?
No, perpetrator.
The
Maybe.
suspect.
I'm gonna go with oppressor.
I don't oppress races or anything. I'm not like that bad.
Oppress races? I didn't say anything about race.
Well, like,
But yeah, you kind of do.
I'm not like the discriminator.
Sure.
You're the flagellator. That's
Easton is like easily the most racist person in the world. Like, undoubtedly. Until I'm
Okay, 19. Forrest, what should we do first on 19?
You should put the 8 on
She
there.
was too.
Okay, so we should subtract. Alright, we should subtract the 8 over this for factoring or quadratic formula. We need that 0 over there. Now what would you do, Forrest?
We do factoring, but
Okay, you could go straight to factoring. There is something that'll make this problem a little bit easier.
quadratic.
No.
Oh, you could divide by 2.
If we divide both sides, everything by 2, it'll make the numbers a little smaller, which makes factoring easier.
Now you can factor. So do 3x. Then let's go with minus 1 plus 4.
Yeah, so what goes in negative 4? You could have said 2 and negative 2, but if we foil that, we'd find out it doesn't work. You said minus 1 plus 4, because if we link the 4 up with the 3 on the outside, that'd be 12x. And the minus 1 does make 11x, which is what we wanted for the middle term. Okay, but what would x equal to make these 0?
It'd be positive 1/3.
Yeah, positive 1/3 or
Negative 4.
usually a lot of times people forget how to do that. 3x minus 1/10. Instead of positive 1, it's going to be positive 1/3. Grant, did you hear me earlier? I came up with your superhero name,
What was it?
the Flagellator. Or maybe supervillain.
I don't know about that name. There's like a bunch of different names. Like, I can't think of the name.
There's a bunch of different ones.
Because there's so many.
There's so many, like,
Can't think of one off the top of my
1939
head.
to 1945.
World War II. What? It's World War II.
Yes. Horrible.
Alright, so on 21, sometimes you can solve for x by just getting the x squared by itself. This works when there is no x term, and you get x squared by itself and take the square root. The book calls it taking the roots, yeah.
Anya has something to talk. No, it's supposed to be 80.
Oh, it's 80?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you just say that? Sheena?
Because
Oh my
She gets her own.
gosh.
you just.
Alright, so if it's a simple kind of like this, you can just get x squared by itself. So, where are we at? Eli, what should I do? You could divide by 2 first, that's fine. Now what?
Square root.
Now you gotta get the x squared by itself first.
Oh, subtract 4.
Subtract 40. Usually we do that one first. Oops.
No, square root.
Now you get square root. Get rid of the square.
Oh.
Okay, square root of 40.
Gonna have to have an
Yeah, it's gonna have to have an I.
Fortnite.
40 is, yeah, it's gonna come out as 2 square root of 10. So it's 2i square root of 10. What did I do wrong?
Plus or minus.
Minus.
Dude, we're gonna so fail this test.
Wait, we have to check. Yeah.
This is a review,
It's
Katie.
tomorrow, bro.
It's not tomorrow.
Isn't just like
It's on
It's
Friday.
Friday. You might have tested that Friday. Man,
Dang, we do have a lot of this.
What about
Wait,
Wait,
who does it?
no, I forgot to. But then I
You
realized.
monkey. Why do you even take it?
Our Bible test?
I can't wait for it.
Our Bible quiz is tomorrow.
I can't wait for it.
Okay.
Let me get this song. That's next year, dude. For sophomores.
It's next year or this year.
Oh, you mean next calendar
Oh,
year.
dingus? Who dingus?
You big I know, that's all of us that are.
No.
Did I just pick that up because you knocked it off the table?
Put like 4, so like you could be, many of us will be,
Alright.
But we're going to Oklahoma.
Alright. I believe we probably forgot completing the square. I don't think I'm going to put this on the test because quadratic formula is kind of the simpler version of it. But you kind of do need to know this process to be able to solve a problem like 22 anyway. Gotta get the square by itself.
Just cut them out altogether.
Okay, so the magic, well, first off, on completing the square, you do actually want the constant to be on the right. Like we want to keep the 32 over there. The magic trick was you take the number in front of the x, right? You divide it by 2, and then you square it. You guys remember doing this?
Yeah.
So the number is like 6, 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 squared is 36, and you add 36, add 36.
This is my favorite.
The reason we did that is because now the left side is going to be perfectly factorable, perfect square. What multiplies into 36 that adds up to 12? 6 and 6. It's this number every time, number in parentheses. So it's x plus 6 squared equals, in this case, 4. This is kind of how 22 works also. So now what did we do at this point?
Square.
Square root.
Oh,
Square
square.
root.
So it's x plus 6 equals,
Plus or minus.
plus minus 2. Some of you added 6 at this point. What should we do? Subtract 6. If you add 6, you're going to get the opposite answer. Okay, anyway. Negative 6 plus or minus 2. So, negative 6 plus 2, negative 4, and negative 6 minus 2, negative 8.
No.
It's kind of,
I forgot the one I was thinking of.
you want to,
Oh yeah.
Shannon, you want to add that 4 over first, plus 4 to the right, and then you square root both sides like I did right here.
Okay.
It's pretty similar.
My last quiz, and I got one.
8. Yeah, it is hard, but I'm not gonna. Maybe if you've tried it already, I might come help you.
Eli, how are you so good at like?
Okay, if you did part of it, I'll help you individually.
He's like,
That's what he does.